Hey guys. Okay, this is Katie Moore, the Ironheart Mama. I said I was gonna hop on here. I'm gonna share this really quickly. Um, so I did a Facebook Live and I cried. I blubbered and I cried. If you're on Instagram, you can watch that, but it was a little bit rough. I won't lie, I tend to not like crying, and so I really fight it, and then I'm easily distracted, and so really, hey guys, yeah, I cried a lot over there and blubbered, and so now you guys know what I'm really like when I cry. By the way, my family doesn't even see me cry, so you're welcome for that. I'm sharing this. Okay, I said I was going to hop on here because I actually just got a ton of responses because this is such a huge topic, and it's one that we don't often address, and so we're going to do it. My hair is all wild. I just got back from sword fighting. I'm breaking out probably because I just cried in a minivan for a little while. And yeah, so let's talk about this. I posted a little post on Instagram the other day and then shared it on Facebook. So I got to hang out with some really cool little people in my life. I got to hold a 1-year-old baby girl that she sort of loves her mama in a big way. And so me getting to hold her it's a big deal. So her mom was across the room and I got to snuggle her, and oh my goodness, I forget, you guys, what it feels like to hold a little baby. And I mean, she's petite, she's light, and she smells good like a baby. And then her adorable brother, who I love from the beginning, like as soon as I found out, like actually before I found out that he was conceived, I already loved the idea of him. And so I was really excited to say, you're gonna see my mess behind me. So anyway, I got to hang out with these incredible little people, and it triggered something. I remembered why I do this. I remembered why I hold babies, and I remember why I invest in other families with little ones. It all came back to me. So let me go ahead and share a little bit about why. So and you guys can say hi, put in here how many kids you have, are you done having babies? Do you know? You can refrain from that, whichever, okay? Just go ahead, give me something, and I'll chat with you while we're going. So, what was I saying? This is mom brain kicking in right here. I remembered why I invested in other families. So I've got 4 kids, and so not everybody knows this about me, but I had a miscarriage in between my first and my second born. So miscarriages, in fact, were something that we really didn't talk about all that much when I was having babies, surprisingly. So we don't have to go into the details, but I found out that I was having a miscarriage, and I had talked to my mother-in-law, and I had talked to a nurse at church. I did not have health insurance, so I didn't go to the hospital, but all of the signs were clearly there. I didn't even know I was pregnant, to be honest. I didn't know. So I didn't tell my husband. I don't know. I felt ashamed, a little bit ashamed, I had done something wrong. So I mean, just starting there, you have a miscarriage and you don't really share anything about it. I don't know if anybody else has done this, so I'm just being very honest here. So I have 4 children, and I had 1 miscarriage in there. And each year that goes by, I feel that miscarriage a little bit more. I have, oh boy, we're gonna try not to cry. I have walked through miscarriages with friends and family, and it is always hard. You don't always say the right thing, and I know that because I don't always say the right thing. I mean, I don't even say the right thing to myself, so how am I going to say it right to somebody else? So there's the walking through that, and when we have a friend that is infertile, and I've been here, okay, and if you have been the recipient of my comments, I am truly sorry. I did not know. I didn't know. I have said to my infertile friends things like, maybe it'll happen or maybe you can adopt. And that was so callous of me because I had no idea. I had no idea. And that grieves me so much that I would say something that could hurt you rather than like just being there and walking through that with you. And then like miscarriages, I remember this is tough because I'm like this is like opening Pandora's box. If you talk about loss in your life, it opens up a whole bunch more, which is why I just cried like a baby on Instagram. So when you have a friend that I'm getting a whole bunch of messages, like I'm seeing all of this happening. When you have a friend that has a miscarriage, I know that it, like, sometimes you're just grappling for something to say, and some of the things that you don't want to say is, just relax, or you already have beautiful children. They do. Some of them do. They have beautiful families already, but a miscarriage is still a loss, okay? It's just a loss. Infertility is a loss. And so now let's just infant loss is loss. It's just different ways. It's just different degrees. So let's go here. Let's go to the place where most of us don't even go. When a mother of several or like one, or, a whole crew is done having babies, and that is something that is difficult for her, and she was not ready, and she tells you that she was not ready to be done. And I've had people say this to me, and I've said it to others too, and I didn't realize how hurtful it could be until somebody said it to me. You cannot say to someone that is grieving the loss of children that will not be, because that is a loss to them. That's an emotional, you feel emotionally deficient in some way because you're no longer having babies. For whether you had to make that choice, whether you made that choice, we're not going to get into whether you believe that you should or should not make that choice. We're not going there. We're going to focus direct. So if anybody is thinking that we want to talk about that, not this time, okay? So whether you made the choice or the Lord made that choice for you and you are just no longer able to conceive, have babies, whatever that looks like, that you feel that deeply, right, ladies? So, okay, I loved pregnancy. I had a really difficult time during my pregnancies, honestly. If you knew me during those times, you might have seen some of the things that were happening and all of the hospital visits that we were making. I was going to get sonograms every other day to make sure that that baby was still alive in there, and that was hard. That was really hard, but not nearly as hard as it is now. Never feeling a baby, kicking inside the womb, not going through all of those wonderful firsts, the labor and delivery. I don't know why I love labor and delivery so much, but I think it's amazing, what the Lord does and how capable your body is. So, I love all those things, but and every year that goes by, okay, so I said it wrong in the other video. My youngest is actually going to be 10. So every year, at least once a year, I expect to be pregnant. But I'm just not. I'm just, I don't get pregnant, and that's hard. That's hard because I still have that longing. I still have that deep need to nurture a baby. Okay. So there it is. It's really hard to miss out, to miss those things. It's hard to move forward. And every year, I remember trying to convince myself, actually I said it to a few friends, well, I'm really glad that I'm not, going through pregnancy or labor or changing diapers or potty training or doing any of those things. But you know what, guys, I would do it again in a heartbeat if it meant that I could be pregnant just one more time. Get to hold a newborn baby one more time. Nurse a baby one more time. Wake up in the middle of the night with a baby one more time. It's just, I would do it all over again. But that's not, unless the Lord does a miracle, and I would not put him past him, but that does not look like that doesn't look like it's likely. So what can we do with that pain? ladies, what can we do with the pain of not being able to have any more babies? What can we do with the need to nurture and feeling unfulfilled? What can we do with it? At first, you can cry out to the Lord. There has not been, like all through the Bible, you see women that were infertile. You see women that had a baby but longed for another. Like, women, ladies, mamas, this is a story that is told over and over and over again. You are not alone. You are not alone. You are designed to nurture life and to take care of it. But what happens when you are no longer able to nurture your own little ones? You take it to the Lord. Then after you take that to the Lord, you need to find a way to give that pain purpose, okay? So I look at this and I look at these little ones that I was just snuggling, that I was hanging out with, and my goodness, friends, if I were still having babies, I would not focus any of my attention to any other families. I would stay an island. My family and I would stay an island. But God calls us to community. He calls us to grieve with one another. So mamas, if you know a friend that is grieving that she is done having babies, you comfort her. You walk with her through that. Don't just say, hey, you've got beautiful children and, that should be enough. It shouldn't be enough, because the Lord is using that to do something. It is drawing her outside just her family. It is taking her to community. Now she can find you know how we are. You know how some of us are. We see babies and we're like just beelining it towards them, right? Right? Like when you really want a baby, you head to that baby and you try to hold that baby and you nurture, and then you invest in the family. What a beautiful gift that is. Through our pain, through the pain of not being able to have more children, we are able to take that and develop more community. We're able to walk alongside younger mothers. Like, this is commanded, and we miss it. We miss that. Sometimes we wallow up, and I did this for years, and I have such gracious, good friends. I would in the spring, just about every spring, lament that I didn't have any babies. And I had friends that would buy me chicks. I had friends that would, just reach out, try to do something special. And that was such a blessing. But what I am most thankful for is that my friends are still living. They're having their babies. They are allowing me the opportunity to come and invest in their family. So I don't know if I said that clearly. Guys, if that isn't clear, ask me questions, let's move through. I see you guys are watching, and I'm so thankful. Thank you for watching this. Let's use that pain. Let's use that pain. Let's glorify the Lord with it. You can grieve, but you go out. You talk about this. Talk about the next stage of life where you're not having babies anymore, and that's hard. And go out and nurture other families. If mamas, if that's not you, you go ahead and you try to hand off a baby to one of the moms that is like that, because I can guarantee you just one little baby snuggle and just those little opportunities blesses her heart more than you realize, and it in turn allows her to bless yours. This is important stuff. This is community stuff, and we don't talk about it. So, okay, there was one other point that I had to make, and Lord, please bring it to my mind. What were we saying about community and reaching out and being able to speak encouragement to another mom, what we can avoid, and okay, I really don't know. I feel like I am missing something. Golly, I wish that I could remember what it was right now. But guys, what can I say? What can I say that in Proverbs there's a verse that says, he who refreshes others will be refreshed. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So I know that I've talked to some of you about this and how difficult it is to be in a stage of, whether it's infertility or just not having babies, and how we can you know, bless others in this stage and not wallow, not like, you know, dig yourself under a rock, because that's sort of my tendency. I like to have a pity party instead of going out and letting the Lord work through that. So I feel like there's something really important that I'm supposed to be saying, but it's just not coming to mind. So, oh wow, ladies. Yeah. So, okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions, if you want to talk about this again, I think we should. I think we should make this a more open conversation. We talk about grief in a lot of different ways, but we forget to be the older ladies encouraging the younger ladies, or, you know, reaching out to the older ladies for some of this. And so I'm not really that much older than anybody else, but I might be walking through a few different things. And so I would love to encourage you. I would love to let you know what the Lord's doing in my life and how we can, how I've been able to use it. So, and also if you have a baby and you want to, you know, hand off a baby to me, that's a huge blessing to me as well. Also, I'm a little bit timid about holding babies lately. I don't know why that is. So, you know, maybe there's something there that I need to look at. Reaching out is so key. Yeah, Rebecca said that reaching out is so key. Yeah, if you are going through some of these things, then I encourage you, like, don't just come to me. Don't just come to me to hear about it, but please go out and share your story. Share that, the difficulty that you're having, the struggle. That's what we're supposed to do. We're sisters in Christ. We're mamas. And really, like, where else are you going to learn how to mother? Like, on your own? That's actually how I like to learn, is on my own. So, okay, yeah, I'm gonna like stop rambling, guys, but thank you for joining me, and yeah, let's do this again real soon. Let's touch some of these things, and maybe I'll cry online again for a little bit. We'll see what we can do. All right, good night, ladies.